Let me ask you something. When did you make this decision? When you were sitting there eating that muffin?
Yeah. I was sitting there eating my muffin and drinking my coffee and replaying the incident in my head when I had what alcoholics refer to as a moment of clarity.
To be continued.
You shouldn't shoot film. There are many reasons not to shoot film. The process is slow, the film is expensive, and it imposes limitations like number of frames and static sensitivity. If you are not ready to compromise on those, and you like digital cameras, then it is not worth converting. But I enjoy the film's aesthetics, the vintage feel of old cameras, and I don't mind at all the slow process. This allowed me to find a few great advantages of this old medium. I will mention image quality, affordability, and the fun of the process. Starting with image quality. I think it should not be even considered in the first place, because film sharpness and resolution are more than sufficient. They are comparable to, and for some even better, than the digital. At this point, any extra bit of resolution won't make your photos better. I also have a question. What's the point of taking a conventionally good image? I mean great sharpness, perfectly natural colors, and spot-on exposure. Certain imperfections can in fact boost your creativity, while digital is engineered to give an absolutely neutral image so that you can do whatever you want in post. It is highly practical, of course, but it forces you to be very intentional with every change you make to the original image. For example, I find it much harder to convert image to black and white as opposed to shooting it with black and white film. So if you feel like either one, film or digital, fits your needs better, then that's perfectly fine and nobody should care. I pointed out affordability because the analog market offers a much cheaper entrance into full frame and medium format. You can find an analog camera for as cheap as $20 and you'll get excellent results, whereas if you go with digital, you would have to spend $300 on a classic Canon 5D. But also, You can find something like this gorgeous medium format thing for 500, while there is still no digital camera with such a large sensor. And what is less affordable than a non-existent camera? Actually, medium format is the reason why I started shooting film. Simple math. A 6x7 image is 4.5 times larger than a 35mm image, which means that, theoretically, every 35mm image is a crop of a potential 6x7 image. The same applies to medium format when compared to the large format. Framing-wise and composition-wise, it isn't important, but that's where the medium format looks comes from. It is not because it offers a shallower depth of field per se. If you take two lenses, one for full frame and one for medium format, that offer more or less the same field of view, and you get a larger aperture on the full frame, you may be able to get a shallower depth of field at a close distance, but with medium format you are able to get the background separation at a much further distance. I guess this topic actually deserves a separate video, but yeah.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Finally, the main part, the fun of the process. With digital, it is bluntly simple. You buy the best camera you can afford, you press the button, and the image is on your screen. With film, there are more steps and much more choice. There are hundreds, if not thousands of cameras, SLRs, TLRs, rangefinders, instant cameras. You also have to really make sure that the camera is functional, and sometimes you won't know it before you shoot the first roll. That's the lottery that many analog lovers choose to play. Now you have to choose a film. The film is basically your sensor, and that's what's so exciting about film, that you change your sensor with every roll. The next fun thing, operating the camera. Loading film every 10, 16, 36 or so frames, clocking the shutter each time and operating the camera manually. Not that you cannot shoot manual with a digital camera, or there are no automated film cameras, but holding something like Pentax 67 that weighs around 3 kilograms and operating everything manually is much more fun. And a little fun thing here that you don't really get with digital is shooting through the waist level down glass viewfinder, which is really cool. And I know something like Hasselblad can do it, but it's damn expensive. Then you have to develop the film. Unfortunately, I don't do it myself, but I would be happy to, and that's one of the steps that greatly affect the final look of the image. After that, you'll probably scan it, although it is also possible to make darkroom prints. Again, something I'm looking forward to do someday. So yeah, in total, film is for those who enjoy its aesthetics, embrace the process, love its physical nature, and like vintage things in general.